Hi, this is Zak Mir with the US Chartbreakers here at Zak's Traders Cafe for Thursday, the 24th of July. Starting off with the S&P, where we're looking for this market to hit the top of that broadening triangle for May last year, around 63.60 by the end of next month. In fact, 63.80. It looks as though we could hit that by the end of this month, and we'll have to look for fresh target on the upside. Obviously, tariff developments helping the cause there. 62.80, the initial July resistance, and therefore, while above that, we're looking for 63.80 in coming days. On the downside, worst case, probably 6,200 if there is a rug pull in terms of tariffs or any other surprises that we get on the macro front. On to the Nasdaq, where we've already placed a fresh, steeper rising trend channel there, heading for 24,400. End of day close above 23,300, really the level for a potential new leg to the upside. And on the downside, recent support 22,600, a rug pull destination if we get it. Moving on to the stocks, and here we've got a situation where we've got quite a few near-term repeats, which tends to be a good sign, i.e. that the charting is working. First situation here is Ag Eagle or AG Eagle, and here rising trend channel base already heading towards the top of that rising trend channel, $3.60, pre-market of just under 330. So looks as though that's on its way. Or a fan of the situation and looking for the next level up, it would be the upper parallel of that rising trend channel base from January, currently heading for $5.50. Stock, which was one of the better risers of yesterday, is up next, Nebulo Pharma, and here we've gapped up violently. And what's interesting here is that we did actually have an old broadening triangle set up for the shares. You see that after a long delay, we're heading towards the top of that broadening triangle. That's pointing to $4.60. That's what we're looking for, especially while we're above recent broken support around the $3 level. Ideally, we stay on the right side of that $3 area. Another near-term repeat is Cyclocell, and here rising trend channel base. The blockage for the stock has been the 50-day line. So we're looking for, or have been looking for, a proper break of that blue line there. We got it yesterday, and above that, looking for the price channel top as high as $46 over the next couple of months. I suppose the initial realistic target would be the old May base there for the shares towards $21, the old support for this stock. Moving on the list and down the list, rather, Connexa. Here we've got beautiful unfilled gap to the upside that we had at the beginning of the week, and the shares following on that. Here you can see that we've got a resistance line direction, which the shares will hopefully follow up towards the $3 mark. And we're looking for that while we're on the right side of $2, which was the old February resistance, in fact, 190 probably to be safe on that. Livewire has been a regular here on the Chartbreakers, and here you can see why. We've had all the shares straight up and then straight down. We just missed our last best case scenario target. But currently we're back in the grid, so to speak, $4.60 or 70 rather, the old initial target there, and above that we're looking for the next level up, which would be up to $7.10, hopefully by the end of next month. Moving along the list, or moving down the list, we've got NIQ, and here massive gap to the upside. Not much that we can say on that, apart from waiting to see how much of a retracement there is. The best case would be a retracement back towards $15.70, although presumably that may be too far away. Moving on to a more realistic situation, and here, well, only slightly more realistic. Here we've had a massive gap up for Pineapple Financial. Support likely to come in at the high of Tuesday, so around the $5 level. Want to see whether the shares can remain above that so that we get a retest of the best levels of yesterday through $9. Moving along to a stock which covered just a couple of days ago, Rich Sparkle, and here we have actually exceeded our target there. So the old target there, the notional rising trend channel up to $17.30. Above that, it's going to be a journey to the upper parallel of that rising trend channel. So towards the $30 level, And we're looking for that by the end of next month or even sooner, ideally above the initial spike there at $15. That was from the beginning of this month. Finishing off with a stock which I wrote up yesterday, Zevra. Here we're finding some support around the $11 to $11.50 area. Above that, the initial target up to $13. Best case in terms of the technicals up to $16, which is the top of that rising trend channel from back in September. That's it for me today. More updates tomorrow.